Welcome to Young Patriots, the heartbeat of African resistance.
In the heart of the Sahel, a new era is being written, not in whispers, but in roars. The lion of Burkina Faso has risen once again, and this time, it's personal. Breaking news from Ouagadougou. 4 powerful international NGOs have been officially banned from operating within Burkina Faso's borders. Their crime? Spreading disinformation, fueling unrest, and secretly aiding the very forces trying to tear the country apart from within. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the revolutionary leader who has stood firm against neo-colonial interference, has drawn a new line in the sand, one that sends a clear and powerful message to the world. Burkina Faso will no longer be a playground for foreign agendas. This is not just a crackdown, it is a declaration of sovereignty. And in this in-depth report, we take you inside the decision that's shaking diplomatic circles, unmasking the hidden hand of foreign influence, and changing the course of Africa's liberation movement, one expelled agent at a time. For months, President Captain Ibrahim Traoré had warned that foreign organizations operating under the disguise of humanitarian aid were overstepping their roles. NGOs, non-governmental organizations, are supposed to offer support, food, healthcare, education. But something wasn't right. Locals began speaking out. Stories surfaced. Tales of assistance that came with strange conditions. Reports of medicines being distributed alongside pamphlets filled with anti-government rhetoric. Whispers of relief trucks unloading weapons, not just food. And then came the final straw. Intelligence gathered by Burkina Faso's army revealed that 4 major international NGOs had not only spread false narratives about the Burkinabe military, but were allegedly funding, aiding, and supplying armed rebel groups. The response from Captain Traoré's government was swift and unapologetic. You have 12 hours to pack up, clear out, and return to your countries. No appeals, no exceptions, no negotiations. Traoré stated, "These organizations are agents of the West, sent here not to help, but to poison the minds of our people. They come under the name of peace, but they bring division. They claim to bring food, but they feed rebellion." With this decree, Burkina Faso joined a growing list of African nations reclaiming their sovereignty by placing strict limits on foreign NGOs. But this wasn't just about logistics. It was about cleansing the country of subtle psychological warfare, the kind waged through misinformation, fake reports, and whispered doubts. Traoré wasn't merely evicting organizations. He was uprooting an invisible occupation. The 4 NGOs, whose names remain confidential for legal reasons, were accused of publishing false reports about military operations, claiming civilian massacres without evidence, distributing flyers and awareness material in rural areas aimed at encouraging anti-government sentiment, providing medical aid and food directly to rebel camps under the excuse of neutral humanitarianism, smuggling weapons and communication devices across the northern border disguised in aid convoys. One senior intelligence officer said off record, "They were fighting our army without firing a bullet. They used information, trust, and food as weapons." These activities didn't just harm Burkina Faso's government. They endangered national unity, created fear, and gave rebel groups the confidence and tools to strike. For decades, Africa has been flooded with foreign NGOs. Some bring genuine help, but many, far too many, come with strings attached. They set up offices, build data centers, hold community meetings. But behind the curtain, They often serve the interests of governments thousands of miles away. They observe, they report, they manipulate. Traoré has made it crystal clear. We don't need your kind of help. The Burkinabe people want to build their own future with dignity on their own terms. By expelling these organizations, he is sending a message not only to Washington, Brussels and Paris, but to every African nation. If your sovereignty is being threatened quietly, fight back loudly. What makes this moment even more powerful is the people's support. Across Burkina Faso, citizens are speaking out, not in fear, but with pride. A teacher in Koudougou said, "They said they were here to help, but our students began to question our army, our leaders. That's not help, that's brainwashing." A mother in Kaya remarked, "They brought food, but they also brought fear. We are safer without them." Across villages and cities, the sentiment is the same. Burkina Faso would rather struggle alone than thrive under deception. The era of accepting foreign aid without question is over. Burkina Faso has awakened. Let's be honest, aid can be a blessing, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon of influence. Teach people to depend on you. Shape their beliefs through the programs you sponsor. Gain access to local intel. Destabilize any leader who refuses to obey global orders. It's a subtle but powerful form of control, and that's exactly what Traoré just shut down. He's not against cooperation. He's not against friendship with the world. But what he demands, and what every African nation deserves, is partnership, not patronage. As expected, the West is not pleased. Several European and American agencies have already released statements condemning the expulsions, calling them concerning, unjustified, and dangerous for civil society. But the question must be asked, where was this outrage when rebel groups were receiving support? Why does the expulsion of suspected infiltrators cause more concern than the death of innocent soldiers? Why is foreign influence, under the guise of charity, still protected? Burkina Faso is choosing self-preservation over applause. And it is a decision many across the continent are watching closely. This move by Captain Traoré is not just about Burkina Faso. It is part of a continental shift. From Mali to Niger, from Chad to Senegal, African leaders are beginning to question who truly benefits from the endless parade of foreign organizations. For years, the continent has been told, "You need us." But now, Africa is replying, "No, you needed us, and now we've realized it." Whether it's in the fields of gold, the control of data, or the battle for mines, Africa is no longer silent. Traoré's roar echoes across borders, and it's giving courage to other nations to look more closely at who they allow in and why. The lion has roared, and in that roar is the pain of a people who have been betrayed, the strength of a nation that is standing tall, and the awakening of a continent that refuses to be tamed. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has once again proven that leadership is not about pleasing the powerful. It is about protecting your people. He has shown the world that Burkina Faso will no longer tolerate wolves in sheep's clothing. To those still trying to undermine the country's peace, your masks are slipping. To the people of Burkina Faso, your voice is being heard. And to the rest of the world, Africa is not your playground, not anymore. The lion has roared, and this time the world is listening.
We bring you raw,
Thank you for
unfiltered
standing with
updates
us,
on Ibrahim
for
Traoré,
standing with the
President
truth,
of Burkina
and for
Faso,
standing with
the man
President
challenging
Ibrahim
the global
Traoré.
system.
In these
If you
trying
believe in
times,
truth,
your voice is
power,
powerful.
and a rising
Don't
Africa,
just watch.
this is
Be
your
part
home.
of the movement.
Subscribe now.
Subscribe to stay
Stand tall.
updated.
Stay
Share to
woke.
awaken others.
Young
And
patriots,
head to the
where
comment
revolution
section.
lives.
Tell us how you feel, what you believe, and what Africa means to you. Together we are louder. Together we are stronger. This is Young Patriots TV, and you are the heartbeat of the mission. Thank you.